We've played Bridgetown already twice. Well, yeah, it's like a junior, like a, it's only for the junior. But this was a Kojonup game today, so. Oh, a bit closer, yeah. Yeah, it's got a long weekend, unless you go down a couple of years.
So welcome to the Boyup Brook Recreational Ground for a long weekend clash between the Boyup Brook Roos, Kojonup Cougars. Both sides contrasting starts to the season as we move halfway through, with Kojonup in the league yet to drop a game, and Boyup Brook Roos, the home side, yet to get on the scoreboard, but they'll be buoyed by their reserves today. They had their first win for the club, a 3-point margin, 13 goals 583 to 12 goals 880, and a terrific game of reserves footy. Just about to get underway here. Congratulate Toby Edwards as well on his debut as a central umpire, young kid coming through the ranks. So all the best to him and his fellow senior umpire in Braden Ridley. So just about ready to get underway. Only game of the long weekend in the lower southwest. Edwards throws it up, one down by Ashton towards Smith, who's been in terrific form for the Cougars. Kicks 7 in his last outing, spills out to Riley for the Roos. He's wrapped up, ball still in dispute now. Matthew Marinoni picks it up, he's well tackled in the middle of the ground by Bleachmore. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Once again, Ashton up against Bleachmore. Bleachmore wins it down, spills out towards Riley. That's Patrick Riley. Ball driven forward over the top. There came Hallett. Ball still in dispute. Free kick's been paid. It's going to go the way of young Mitchell Hallett. He'll have a shot on goal from 50 metres out. Terrific young player for the opening score of the game. Mitchell Hallett. I was here a couple of weeks ago doing a Boyup Brook Tigers game, and I think he kicks the first goal of the game that day as well. So, deja vu, Mitchell Hallett. This will take his best. He'll kick from right on 50. In he comes now. Ball on its way. It's got the distance. It's going to go right to the top of the square. Over they come. Spilled through. Kicked off the ground. And through for a minor score. So the opening score of the match goes the way of the home side. Just to behind. Ball brought back in by Jake Abbott. A few new names in both sides. He's one of them. Jake Abbott. And Boyup Brook, well, I'm sure we'll call them as the game goes on. Looking for their first win in league footy. Van Verhoosen goes back towards Abbott. Doesn't hit his target. Puts him under pressure. Pursued there by Nyadusi. The big fella kicked 3 in a terrific effort a few weeks ago. The kick goes short and finds Tonkin, Clancy Tonkin. Awkward looking kicking style. Finds the outstretched arms of Abbott. Goes inboard and finds Matthew Marinoni. He'll switch play once again. Goes back to where it comes from. Right on defensive 50. Finds Ben Taylor. Handballs over to Angus Johnson through the middle of the ground now. The Cougars, their first foray into the 50. Blakers could have been pushed in the back. Umpire put the whistle to his mouth, didn't blow it. Now he does. Ball to be thrown up 40 metres out. This time from Kojonup's goal. Early stage of the first quarter. It's one behind to the home side. Comes out now to Callum O'Neill. Goes on the far side of the ground. Doesn't hit his target. Van Verhoosten's there. Gets some sort of handball over. It's chucked on the boot in the direction of Weasel and Lee Luciv. But it goes out of bounds on the full. Discussion with both umpires. Free kick now will go the way of Boyup Brook, and it's Hanson. Wheels around the man on the mark. Not his best looking kick. Puts it in a dangerous position straight to Marinoni. Marinoni will close on goal. And the opening major of the game goes away of the Cougars. Mistake deep in defence by the home side. Matthew Marinoni pounced. And Kojonup get the opening major of the game. 1.5 minutes in. 1 goal neat. The Boyup Brook one behind. So Nicholas Hanson a rare mistake from him. Usually a better kick than that. Marinoni was in the right position and he pounced on the loose ball, ran into an open goal and made no mistake from 30 metres out. We join once again at the Brook Recreational Ground by my trusty offsider, one of my old sparring partners from way back, and Lee Beadle, commonly known as Juice. And on the camera today is our man Graham. Ball gets kicked out of the centre by the Roos. Spills to Kikiri. In they come now. They have the numbers. That was Ben Taylor. Goes straight towards Liam Park and he hits Ben Thompson right on 50. He's going to drive the ball long. Good looking kick. Looks for Nadusi. Could have been pushing the back. Spills over the back towards Marinoni, the last goal kicker. Out they come now. Van Verhoosen goes in the middle of the ground. Now they come wide, courtesy of Smith. Looks there for Blake, is in front position. One grab, couldn't take it. Tonkin at the front. Will it bounce up for him? He's trying to knock it up. It won't come up for him. Now he's tackled high. And he wins the free kick right in front of the Boyup Brook interchange box. 2 kicks out from goal. 1 goal straight, the Cougars. 1 behind the Roos. Tonkin looked for Blakers, finds him on a searching lead. Still too far out to score, Mitch Blakers. Got a player short, goes that way. Handball back to Blakers. He'll go wide once again, looking for Lucev. And Lucev takes the mark in front of Hanson. And he'll have a shot on goal. 30 metres out, directly in front. And this for the Cougars second in the opening 5 minutes of this first quarter. They do this well. Short kick, run pass, get the handball. In he comes now, Lee Lucev. Deliberate shot on goal. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. 2 in a row to the Cougars. And they've opened up a handy 11-point margin early stages of this first quarter. Play a real possession game to the Cougars. Well coached, well drilled. And Blake is basically uncontested all the way down the wing closest to the commentary box. And found Lucev 3 or 4 metres on his direct opponent, and he made no mistake from 30 metres out, directly in front. So getting their fair share of the ball, the Roos, they just can't make it pay on the scoreboard as they go forward. Back in the middle once again. Ashton does the ruck work, wins it down, it comes back to him. Wrapped up by Riley, ball dispossessed, wins the free kick, goes away of Riley. Luke, handball into the middle of the ground to Kubanaro. Drives the ball long, but it's cut off there by Ben Taylor. He goes wide and finds Van Verhoosten. Handball back over to Angus Johnson. Going through the middle of the ground, finds O'Shea. Now they switch play. Looking there for Harry Taylor. Comes in front. Spilt there by Pasotto. Taylor mops up. Doesn't bounce for him. Spills out towards Shea. Knapp just puts it onto his left boot. Marinoni in best position. Front and square. Wins the ball down. Tackle. Gets a handball out towards his teammate in Bellotti. Comes back to Marinoni. Doing well here. Comes back to Taylor. Has a player wide in Stratton Jones. He'll go short. Looking for Marinoni once again. Just finessing with the ball. Fends off. Drives the ball long. Lucev could have been held. Umpire doesn't see it that way. Kubaharo in best position. Spills out to Van Verhoosten. A good smother in the middle of the ground. Out to Ben Chapman. Puts his teammate under pressure. Now Lucev's got it. Looks short for Harry Taylor. And Taylor takes the mark right on 50 in front of Callum O'Neill. Goes in the middle of the ground looking for Smith. Goal kicker from last week. Kicks 7. Spills out to Riley. Now they work the ball back. And it lands on the ample chest of Benji Bleachmore right on half-back. Handballs over to Park. Good to see him back. Gets onto his left boot. Awkward looking kick. Lands in front. And Bellotti takes the mark. Goes in the middle of the ground and finds Kyle Smith. Player running past him, Bellotti. Right on centre wing. Plays on now. Tries to go short. It's going to carry everyone and go out of bounds. Looking there for O'Halloran. The ball will be thrown in 30 metres out. 2 goals straight, 12 the Cougars. And 1 behind the home side, the Roos. Ball thrown in. Blakers this time does the ruck work against Pasotto. Wins clean possession. Pasotto tries to get the ball to bounce up. Comes to Kubaharo. Spills out there towards Caritas. Was good last time. Gets around one. Drives the ball into a dangerous position. Asking a lot there for Hallett. He's outnumbered. In they come now. Spills over to Johnson. Johnson goes to Bellotti. Now they'll go on the far side of the ground. Nearly a mark taken. Ashton's there. It spills out, wrapped up straight away. Umpire will come and throw the ball up. Right on the half-forward line. 2 kicks out from the Cougars' goal. Kicking to the southern end or the scoreboard end for those people that know the Boyup Brook recreational ground. Players wrapped up. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. So some good signs early. They just need a goal here, the Roos. Ashton wins it down, comes towards Riley, then out to Caritas, tries to get it to bounce up like a basketball. Riley's there once again, could have been legged. He is. Wins the free kick right on the defensive half back line for his side. He'll go wide, not his best kick. Ashton in front. Could have been illegally dealt with there. Umpire doesn't see it. Spills out towards. That was Riley Downer. Comes back. Kubinaro getting himself involved early. Looks in the middle there for Park. Park picks it up on one bounce. Puts his teammate under pressure. Comes back in. Could have been taken high. And he is. And Liam Park right in the middle of the ground. Takes a free kick. Been good early. Been called to play on. Just drives the ball long. Goes inside 50. In they come now in front. Across the front of the pack comes Kyle Smith. Umpire's seen a free kick and it's going to go the way of Nadusi. I didn't see what that was for. Could have been held in the pack there. And Smith basically took an uncontested mark, but that was the reason. And Nadusi, he'll kick from 35 metres out directly in front. Distance won't be a problem. Kicked a couple of terrific goals a couple of weeks ago from outside the arc. Big Will Nadusi. In he comes now. Little bit of a skip. Deliberate shot on goal. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. And the home side gets one back. Margin back to 5 points as Will Nadusi gets himself on the scoreboard. 1 goal, 1-7. The Roos, 2 goals straight. The Cougars, 5 points to margin. 10.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. So Kojonup with the opening 2 goals. Boyup. Well, they've been good, just hadn't hit the scoreboard. But Nadusi, they're going to have to look after him today. Keep an eye on him. He's a terrific young player, only 18 years of age, built like a tank, but has the range from well outside the arc and from 35 metres, made no mistake. Ball back in the middle. This time Bleachmore wins it down in front of Kubiharo. Tries to get it to bounce up. Tackled by Johnson. Ball spills out in the tackle. Now it goes inside 50. First back there, it's Tonkin. Wrapped up straight away by Knapp. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Right on the forward 50 for the Roos. Looking good early. Thompson this time does the ruck work for the Roos. Spins around one. That was Thomas O'Brien. Puts it to the top of the square. No free kick given. Spills out towards Johnson. Now it spills back towards Perrin. Snap on goal. Misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. And Taylor, Ben Taylor for the Cougars will bring the ball back into play. He goes short. So just maintaining possession. He'll come back to Taylor. Puts him under pressure. Has time. Hallett comes in. Gets the handball over to Abbott. Gets onto his left boot. Looking down there for Norris. Spills the mark he should have taken. Now he's wrapped up by Riley. Patrick Riley. Umpire to come in and throw the ball up. Thompson does the ruck work. Out muscles Isaiah Reid. Ball goes out of bounds. Will be thrown in. Right on 50. 5 points to margin. 9.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Thompson once again does the ruck work. No ruckman wins it. Spills out to Thompson. Gets a handball over towards Kubinaro. Puts it to the top of the square. Down in front. There was Perrin. Umpire will come in now, throw the ball up. 40 metres out from Boyup's goal. In a scoring position. Thompson once again wins the ruck work down. Spills towards Taylor. Tries to get the handball over. Now it's dangerous. Comes towards Miller. He's wrapped up straight away by Tonkin. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Still 40 metres out from goal. Boyup's goal. Thompson gets front position. Ben Thompson towards Norrish. Some good forward line pressure from the Roos early. Just holding that ball up, and it's still in a dangerous position. Spills over, comes to Riley, snap on goal. How will it bounce? Nadusi's there, outnumbered 3-1, gets around one. Abbott just chucks it onto his right boot, spills towards Park, gets one bounce, not the other. Could have been hit without it. Norrish is there. And they come now. Park doing his utmost, keeps the ball in play, knocks it out. Norrish still there, handball over to Knapp from Riley, puts it to the top of the square. Nadusi's there, makes a contest, spills back to him. Snap on goal from Hallett. How will it bounce? Abbott takes a terrific mark for the Cougars, top of the square. Plays on straight away to Ben Taylor. Goes down the middle of the ground. They have the numbers here. One is Bleachmore. Receives a free kick. Took too much time. Wrapped up by Elusive. Wins the free kick in the middle of the ground. Has a player wide. Uses him. That was Smith. Goes even wider. Far side of the ground, the Cougars maintaining control. O'Neill in best position. Out muscles by Weasel. He'll bounce in, have one bounce. Better showboating. It runs into an open goal. Makes no mistake from the top of the square. And the Cougars get their third. Unlucky there, O'Neill. Could have been a free kick paid. But umpire in best position. And Weasel ran into an open goal. No pressure. So 3 goals straight, the Cougars. 11 points the margin. 1 goal won the Roos. But a terrific first 15 minutes of footy between two sides at opposite ends of the ladder. But the Roos having a real go here. The ball back in the middle. Bleachmore does the ruck work. Spills out towards Riley. Riley Downer that was. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Bleachmore wins it down. Comes towards Norris. Spills back towards Van Verhoosen. He's wrapped up. Umpire's working overtime, early stages. Ruck work run down. One by Ashton. Comes towards O'Shea. Spills out towards Lachlan Tully. Just chucks it onto his boot. They have the numbers here. Boundary line will be the best winner. They keep it in play. The Roos try to handball back to Pasotto. Snap on goal. Snap on goal is another one. Harry Taylor pounced on the loose ball and ran around his body. And for all the good work that the Roos had done early, back-to-back goals again for the Cougars. Margin out to 17 points. 4 goals straight. And the Roos 1 goal, 1-7. It's very hard in the modern game. It used to be the boundary line was your best friend, but now as defenders you've got to keep it in. Otherwise it could be a free kick paid. The Roos did that, but Taylor was there. Handball missed its target. Lands in the arms of Taylor, and he made no mistake from 30 metres out. Back in the middle once again. Bleachmore does the ruck work. Cubinaro being good early. Handball out to Hallett, goes to Riley. He goes short and finds Riley Downer. Far wing, plays on straight away, gets onto his left boot. Looking there for Thomas O'Brien. Ball still in play. Now it goes out of bounds. Be thrown in. Forward 50. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 17 points to margin in favour of the visitors. Accurate kicking, 4 goals straight. Spills down towards Riley. Handballs out towards Park. Park has a shot on goal. Probably could have done better there, had a little bit more time, and only threw for a minor score. Been good early, Park. Terrific motor. Sensational in that premiership win a few years ago. He can play. Sometimes his kicking lets him down, but he's getting a fair bit of the footy early. As Abbott brings the ball in and finds Ashton just inside 50. He goes short and finds Tonkin. So just outside defensive 50, just under 5 minutes to play. Tonkin goes long, looking there for Smith, being quiet early. The spell comes over the back from Pasotto. Spills back out towards Ashton, tries to get the handball there towards Lachlan Norrish, misses his target. Now through the middle of the ground, it's Smith. They're under pressure. In they come. Smith could have been pushed in the back. Umpire lets it go. They hold the ball up. He'll come in now and throw it up. Middle of the ground, and 16 points the margin. 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter. It's a ball and dispute. Tackling pressure from both sides been terrific. And just holding it up now. Right in the middle of the ground, far side. Bleachmore does the ruck work. No ruckman wins it down. And once again, they'll come in and throw the ball up. Pretty much the same spot. Groundhog Day. Big ruck, not one out there by Brad Ashton in the direction of Harry Taylor. The last goal kicker comes back in, lays a tackle. And just forward to centre, Kojonup's way. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Bleachmore does the ruck work. Ashton wins it out. Shark there by Riley. Comes towards Downer. Kick smothered. Spills back towards Bleachmore. Under pressure. Handball over to Hanson. Chucks it onto his boot. That's a good kick. Finds Kubiharo. Middle of the ground. Goes wide looking for Park. One grab, two grab. Takes the mark. Plays on straight away. Puts Knapp under pressure. Gets it to Miller. Back to Park. Gets around one. Handball in the middle. Misses him. That was Kubinaro running into an open square, and the turnover finds Blake as centre wing. He'll go short and find Norris. Gets a handball in the middle of the ground to Ben Taylor. Runs across his body. Snap on goal. Luciv tries to take the mark. Comes off his hand and through for a minor score. Good system through the middle of the ground there, the Roos. Just missed their last possession and allowed Cougars to pounce. Within the blink of an eye, they had a shot on goal, but only through for a minor score. Hanson to bring the ball back into play. Has Riley leading for him. Goes that way. Just misses his target. And goes out of bounds on the full. A free kick will go the way of the Cougars. It'll go to Van Verhoosen. Goes short, looking for Blakers, finds him just inside 50. Blakers, he nearly kicked this from here. Mitch Blakers, been amongst the goals this year so far. He'll kick from 48 metres out. Mitch Blakers, 45-degree angle. Comes in now. It's trying to work back. That's a terrific kick from Blakers. No mistake from 45. And Blakers gets on the scoreboard. 3 in a row to the Cougars. Always had the distance there, Mitch Blakers. And worked back beautifully. And in the end, went straight through the middle. Goalpost height. So distance, no problem. 5 goals, 131. 23 points the margin. The home side, 1 goal, 2-8. All single goal kickers early stages of this match. Marinoni, Luciv, Weasel, Harry Taylor and Mitch Blakes have won apiece. And Nadusi with the only goal for the home side so far. Pasotto now in the ruck. Up against Ashton. Ashton wins it down towards Marinoni. Spills out to Ashton. But the umpire's blown his whistle and will throw it up once again. Pasotto this time wins it down. Goes towards O'Shea. Gets a handball out towards Nadusi. Spills out to Hallett. Just chucks it onto his left boot. Nadusi in best position. Takes the mark. He'll go back from 25 metres out. Going for his second. Directly in front. Set chaos ball. Put it to the top of the square. And Nadusi playing in front. Kept his feet. Should have no problem from here. Terrific young kid, this fella. Big boy, good set of hands. Terrific finish. In he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. No mistake from Nadusi. Looked like he was going through for all measure, and I've put the mocker on him, Juice. Hit the top of the goal post. Minor score. Late stages of this first quarter. So I'll let off there for the Cougars as Abbott brings it in. High up and under. Looking there for Stratton Jones. Coming from 3 deep. Spills out towards Hallett. Now Johnson in best position. Gets a handball over to Jones for the Cougars. Drives the ball long. And Blakers has found some space. Have they got time to get one before the end of the siren in the first quarter? 2 kicks out from goal. Goes short. Looking for Marinoni. Goes over his head. Free kick's been given. And it'll go the way of Matt Marinoni. 55 metres out from goal. Matt Marinoni. The siren goes. And he'll have a shot after the siren. And this will take his best. Matt Marinoni will kick from 55. Goes to Torpedo. He's got a good piece of it. Hasn't got the distance. No. Falls 5 metres short. So end of the first quarter. 5 goals, 131. The Cougars. 1 goal, 3-9. 22 points the margin. And led off their late stages as Nadusi hit the top of the goalpost. 25 metres out. But he's got Boyup's only goal in the opening term. And Matt Marinoni, Lee Luciv, Jermaine Weasel, Harry Taylor and Mitch Blakers have won apiece for the Cougars. So a good start to this game. Cougars had all the answers. They kicked 5 goals in the opening term. But Boyup, not without a chance. Their physical pressure's been terrific. And we'll be back shortly with the second quarter from a beautiful day, considering the weather forecast at the Boyup Brook Recreational Ground. So quarter time here, Boyup Brook Recreational Oval. 5 goals, 131 the Cougars. 1 goal, 3-9. At the point there, 22 points the margin. And Boyup, a let off there, Nadusi just hit the top of the goalpost and 25 metres out. But their physical pressure, especially down forward, was exceptional. The home side is going to maintain that and put some scoreboard pressure on. So while players are coming out on the ground, let's thank some sponsors. Mancham Tyre Power presenting the classic clash today between the Cougars and the Roos. Great Southern Fuels, Agfree, Delta Ag, Kimley Accommodation Group, UDF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Dartfish, Archie's, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, Mancham Up Gateway Hotel and the Pemmican Hotel. A big thank you to Big Paulie Fowler at both of those establishments. Does a terrific job. So just about to start the second quarter. And let's see what the home side can do. The ball in the middle. Up they go. Park this time in the ruck. Comes back to him. He's wrapped up by Norwich. Umpire will come in once again and throw the ball up. Also a big congratulations to young Toby Edwards in his debut league game as a central umpire. Spills in the middle of the ground. The Hallett just chucks it onto his boot. Ducey in front. That comes back. That was Bleachmore. Comes to ground. Spoil there by Johnson. So right on forward 50. Ashton this time against Bleachmore. Deep. Busting through his Park. Gets around one. Could have had a shot on goal. Spills back. Shot on goal. Has missed. That was from Perrin. Park could have had a shot there. He was running on his right side for a left footer. Decided to handball back. Perrin hit it with pace, but couldn't finish with a major. Ball to be brought back into play by Abbott. Gets onto his left boot. Comes wide and finds Norwich. Terrific lead there from Lachlan Norwich. A lot of left footers in this side. Goes down right in front of us. Marinoni in front. But over the top of him came Ben Chapman with the spoil. So centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. Ball to be thrown in. 21 points the margin. Boyup Brook with the only score early stage of this second quarter. Spills out. No prior. Wrapped up there by O'Shea was Thomas O'Brien. Umpire to throw it up once again. Park now. Ashton had the run of it. Spills over to Thompson. Handballs back to Park. Puts it onto his left boot. Lands in open space. Comes to Taylor. Handball back towards Connor Fraser. Doing well here. Spills out to Van Verhoosen. Gets a handball over to Ashton. Can get it back. Does so. Puts Van Verhoosen under pressure. Over to Tonkin. Harry Taylor's there. Allows Tonkin to go through. Spills past Pasotto. Dives on the ball. Tries to keep it in. Comes back in now with Norwich. In comes Pasotto. Wrapped up by Marinoni. Umpire once again. Well, they're earning their keep today. The umpires. Park. This time wins the ruck work down in front of Ashton. Spills to Marinoni. In best position is Thompson. Must have been touched. Gets the handball over to Kakiri. Gets around one. Handball into the middle of the ground. Looking there for Park. Spills out to Smith. Tries to get around one. Park comes back in with a second effort and wins the free kick. Has a player running past. Been good early. Park, first quarter and a couple of minutes. Hugs the boundary. Gets onto his left boot. Spilt over the boundary. The spoil there from Van Verhoosen over the top of Riley Downer. Umpire to throw it in right in front of the Boyup Brook interchange box. 21 points the margin. Park front position. Out muscled by Ashton. Comes towards Riley. Handball over to Hallett. Chucks it onto his left boot. How will it bounce? Bounces past Taylor and Caritas. Ball to be thrown in. 30 metres out from Boyup's goal. Doing all the attacking early stages this second quarter. They need something to show for it now. Ball thrown in. Ashton comes over the top towards Van Verhoosen. Tries to get the handball over towards O'Reilly. Spills out to Park. 1 grab, 2 grabs. Now it spills out towards Harry Taylor. In comes Weasel, one of the goal kickers of the first quarter. Over to Pasotto. Tries to bust through the pack. Lucky to get away with it. Spills back towards Pasotto. Now on the left boot is O'Brien. He looks there for Bleachmore. In they come, the defence of Boyup. Taylor's wrapped up straight away. Terrific pressure. Umpire once again will come in and throw the ball up. This time 40 metres out from Boyup's goal. Bleachmore does the ruck work. Wins it in front of Isaiah Reid. Still in dispute. Now it fills out to Johnson. Over to Kyle Smith. Been quiet in the first quarter. Has a bounce from the middle of the ground. Gets a handball to Blakers. Cuts back through the pack and goes wide and finds Abbott. Now he has space. Thought about a bounce. Could still have one. Goes short and find Lucif, who's pushed right up the ground. Centre wing, far side. Comes inside and finds Norris. Handballs over to O'Shea. He'll drive the ball long. Taylor's found some space. Can take it and run on and kick a goal. Runs into an open goal as Harry Taylor. And he gets his second end-to-end stuff by the Cougars. Great switch of play. Smith to Blakers and found Abbott wide on the 50. And Lucif on the far wing. He's got a good motor, Lee Lucif, for a small forward. Does spend a lot of time in the middle of the ground. Found O'Shea and Harry Taylor. Basically ran back from the 50 and ran into an open goal. Took the mark and ran into an open goal. And for all the good work Boyup done early, margin now out to 27 points. 6 goals, 137. 1 goal, 410. Park wins the ruck knockdown in the direction of Riley. Placed the free kick. Now socks it off the ground. Spills out towards Caminaro. Comes to Hallett. Hallett closes on goal. Doesn't have the legs. Cut off by Johnson. Handball over to Abbott. Comes down the near side of the ground and a high up and under kick. Over the top came Park. Could have hurt himself there, Park. Awkward landing. Spills out to Marinoni. Gets it over to Tonkin. Looks down for Weasel. And Weasel takes the mark in front of Kikiri. Centre wing. Jermaine Weasel. Goal in the first quarter. Goes inboard looking for Harry Taylor. Cut off by Ben Thompson. Spills back to Thompson. Kicks it into the back of Riley Downer, his own teammate. Now they're under pressure once again. Comes to O'Shea. Handball out to Ashton. Just high up and under. Pasotto in best position. Front on contact potentially. Spills back out towards Marinoni. They're under pressure once again. Handball to Thompson. In they come as Lachlan Tully picked the ball up. It's set upon there by Thompson and Ben Chapman. Ball thrown up just outside forward 50. 1 down by Thompson to Riley. Handball over. Spills towards Van Verhoosen. High up and under. Marinoni in best position. Sport by Chapman. Spills to Lucif. He'll go around the corner. Lucif, and it bounces twice and through for another. So too easy there. Good contest from Matt Marinoni. And Lucif gets his second. So the opening 2 goals of the second quarter go the way of the Cougars. And the margin increases now to 33 points. And Marinoni nearly took that mark. Came back in for the second effort. Well, Lucif doesn't need more than one opportunity, one chance from that range. Ran around the corner and bounced it through for a major. He's second. So ball back in the middle. Bleachmore this time in the ruck. Umpire's seen a free kick. Might be a 6-6-6 warning here. Don't know how many warnings we can give for that. Doesn't matter what league of footy you play. It's been around for a while. Spills out. Socket off the ground. Goes forward. Spills towards Johnson. Handball out to Smith. Gets it back to Stratton Jones. Puts it onto his left boot. Now Brook in best position. That was Rory Miller. He's wrapped up straight away by Van Verhoosen. Umpire still in the centre square. It's forward to centre. Boyup's way. And find themselves 33 points down. Still 14 minutes to play in this second quarter. One by Bleachmore straight to Mitch Hallett. Just chucks it onto his boot. Now it's deep inside 50. Abbott first there. Doesn't sit up for him. Wrapped up straight away by Nadusi. Umpire will come and throw the ball up. 25 metres out from Boyup's goal. And they need one here. Hallett this time does the ruck work. Wins it down. Spills over the back. Marinoni's there. He's got Riley for company. Luke Riley. He's wrapped up. Umpire once again will come and throw the ball up. A little bit closer to goal. 20 metres out. A free kick's been paid. Not sure what that was for. A little bit high in the tackle. So Luke Riley will have a shot on goal. 25 metres out. Acute angle for a right footer. But to say they need this one, understatement. In he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. It's working back. That's a terrific kick from Riley. And he puts through Boyup second. They're first of the second quarter. And they reduce that margin to 26 points. That's a terrific kick from Riley. Put his head over the ball. Received a free kick. And the home side get one back. 2 goals, 4-16. 7 goals, 143. The Cougars. 27 points the margin. 13 and a half minutes to go in this second quarter. Superb kick there by Riley. Been around the footy all day and was rewarded for putting his head over the ball and made no mistake from 25 metres out, right on the boundary line. So can they get back-to-back goals here, the Roos, and keep themselves close enough? All the physical pressure. And once again, middle of the ground. Not sure what that was for. Ashton wins the ball down, looks for Blakers, and Blakers takes a strong contested mark in front of Thompson. Mitch Blakers plays on straight away, looking for Luciff, carries over him. Posotto with the spoil. It's going to favour Marinoni, comes in hard, gets the ball out to Riley. And once again, he puts his head over the ball, tackled high, and wins the free kick right on defensive 50. Plays on straight away, comes wide and finds Mead. He has time now, Mead. Goes inside, dangerous kick, looking for Caminaro. Spills out to Hallett. Been good in this game so far. How will this sit? Stays inside the boundary line, comes to Knapp, does well. The youngster over to Miller, tries to get the handball to Bleachmore, misses his target. And free kick will go the way of Bellotti for the Cougars. So Ryan Bellotti getting plenty of advice in front of the opposition's change box there. Hugs the boundary line, looking for Luciff over the top. Mark's been paid. It goes away of this time of Patrick Riley. Coming from 3 deep. Has a player short. Still has a player short if he wants him. Goes there now. Dangerous kick. Finds his target. That's O'Brien, centre wing. So just maintaining possession. This time, dangerous looking kick, looking for Hansen. And Hansen takes the mark right at centre half forward. Wheels onto his left boot. Goes wide, looking for the big frame into Ducey. 1 grab, 2 grab, couldn't take it. Sport by Abbott. Picks the ball up now, does Abbott. Handball over to O'Shea, over to Johnson. Far side of the ground, finds Tully. Now they have space. Comes inboard, looking for Blakers. Relay free kick. And Mitch Blakers for the Roos will take the free kick right in the centre of the ground. So a couple of loose tackles from both sides in the early stages of this second quarter, resulting in free kicks. So Blakers keeps presenting this Blakers, and so does this guy in Ashton. Takes the mark, still inside centre square. Blakers ran past for the handball, decides not to, goes longer now, not his best kick, and lands on the ample chest of Ryan Posotto. Player running past, decides not to, now he does, goes short, and that's O'Brien. O'Brien plays on straight away and finds Patrick Riley, gets a handball back now, does O'Brien. 1-2, goes in the middle of the ground, they have the numbers. Park takes the mark, has a bounce. It's not Park, it's Riley. Downer has 2 bounces, closes inside 50. Shot on goal from Downer. Goes across the face and through for a minor score. So another let off. They've had a couple of chances to be a lot closer, the home side. And 2 goals, 5-16. So 7 scoring shots to 8. They still find themselves 26 points down, 7 goals won, 43. The Cougars, as Abbott brings the ball in and finds O'Shea in front of Riley. Inside defensive 50. He goes wide, finds Norris. Lachlan Norris been good early. Another player working short for him, that's Ashton, and he takes the mark in front of Bleachmore. Brad Ashton, the veteran, goes long, looking for Marinoni, and that's a terrific contested overhead mark by Matt Marinoni. Looking for Blakers, outnumbered 2-1. Misses it, comes to Pat Riley. Handball over to Pasotto, tries to go to Kumanaro, spills out to Ben Thompson, gets a handball back over to Riley. Goes short and finds the chest of Park. Centre wing, high up and under kick from Park. It'll favour Tonkin, and Tonkin makes no mistake. Right on the half-back line, Clancy Tonkin, awkward-looking kicking style, but he finds Smith. Got Van Verhoosen far and wide, plenty of space, and takes an uncontested mark. Still too far out to score, 2 kicks out from goal, goes down looking for Luciv, and Luciv takes a terrific mark in front of Chapman. He comes inboard and finds Blakers. And Blakers will have the range from here. He'll kick from 50, kick one in the first quarter, terrific kick, 48 metres out, similar distance. Decides to go short now, looking for Marinoni. The kick's not his best. Spills out to Marinoni. Tries to get the handball over to Smith. Riley's there. Spills back to Smith. Back to Blakers. They're under pressure. I said that's a terrific tackle. And Boyup win the free kick. And it'll go the way of Luke Riley. Has a player running for him in O'Brien. Been good in this second quarter. He'll wield onto his left boot. Gets around Norris too easy. And Bellotti puts it into a dangerous position. Looking there for Hanson, spills out towards Hallett, right on 50, snaps around his body, but hits the chest of Abbott. Play on straight away and find Norris. Norris has time, looks downboard for Luciv, 1 grab, 2 grab. Playing for the free kick is Luciv, but it spills over the boundary line in front of him and Chapman. Ball to be thrown in. 75 metres out from Kojunup's goal, 26 points the margin. No score to either team in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Ball's 1 down. Spills out to Park. Gets a handball over to Norris. Goes to Marinoni. Puts him under pressure. Wrapped up straight away. Ball to be thrown in once again. Same spot. 7.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Boyup just holding here. Doing a really good job. In front came Isaiah Reid, spills over to Van Verhoosen, but Pasotto playing in front, takes the overhead mark, has Chapman short, goes that way, and he takes the mark in front of Weasel. Goes inboard, look there for Riley, misses them all, spills out to Matt Marinoni, wheels onto his left boot. It's a high up and under. They have the numbers here, Boyup Brook. It's missed there by Thompson. In comes Weasel and Hallett. Ball to be thrown up. Right on 50, 26 points the margin. Over the top came Reid, wins it down, spills back towards Marinoni, tries to get the ball up. Wrapped up once again. Umpire will come in and throw it up. Still 40 metres out from Kojunup's goal. 1 down by Ben Thompson for the Roos. It's his teammate under pressure. The tackling pressure so far from both sides has been terrific. Umpire will come in and do it all over again. Thompson does the ruck work, wins it down towards Patrick Riley. It spills out there to Lachlan Tully. He tries to bust through the pack, had Pryor, and the free kick this time will go the way of the Roos. And it's to their skipper in Luke Riley, just inside defensive 50. Calls his players to lead, gains a few metres around the mark, looks for the big fella in Nadusi. A relay free kick will go the way of Nadusi as Riley was dealt with after he got rid of the ball. He'd have to be too far out to score from here. Right on centre wing, big Will Nadusi. He should put this deep inside 50. Big Will Nadusi, already with a goal to his name. Drives the ball long. Won't reach there, looking for Kuminaro on the second grab. Takes the mark just inside the boundary line. Been good. Kuminaro keeps presenting. Been called to play on now. Puts it well inside 50. Hansen will come from 3 deep. Spills towards Johnson. Now it goes over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in 40 metres out from Boyup's goal. So a bit of a lull in the game here. 2 goals, 5-17. 7 goals, 1-43. 2 goals to 1 in favour of the Cougars. Deep in this second quarter. One over the back by Park. Comes back to Park. Tries to get the handball over. Legally, the umpire said, as Kuminaro lays a tackle, umpire will come in and throw the ball up. That was on Bellotti. Still inside forward 50. Park wins the ball over to Stratton Jones. Out to Ben Taylor. Just drives it onto his boot, but it spills over the boundary line. And the free kick will go the way of Miller for the Roos. Another relay free kick. So a little bit undisciplined both sides. It's a chance for Boyup to go inside 50 once again. Spills to Norris. Drives it onto his left boot. Thompson in front. Probably sport by his own man. Spills out to Marinoni. Handball over to Smith. Illegally. Umpire will go the way of O'Brien. Been good in this second quarter. Thomas O'Brien goes short and finds Miller, who takes the mark in front of Weasel. 4.5 minutes to go. Hugs the boundary line, looking for Hansen. Over the back was Taylor. Probably missed what he should have taken. Knocked over by Marinoni. Umpire to throw the ball in. 60 metres out from Boyup's goal. One just before half time would be very, very handy. Get this margin back to 20 points. Park in front. Wins it down. Comes out to Ashton. Just chucks it onto his boot. How will this bounce? Favours Posotto. Picks it up. Has a player inboard. Goes onto the left boot. Not a bad kick from the big fella. And he finds Chapman. I thought his left foot was only for balance juice, to be perfectly honest. I've never seen him kick left foot. Comes to Park, gets around 1, gets around 2, runs himself into trouble. Over to Patrick Riley, back to O'Brien, gets onto his left boot, puts it to the top of the square. Nadusi on the second grab, couldn't take the mark. Comes to Kuminaro, now it spills out, ball in dispute. Hallett's there, in comes Kuminaro. Umpire comes in, will throw the ball up 35 metres out from Boyup's goal. They did well there. I think if Posotto can kick on the left boot, it'd be nice to see Park kick on his right. Runs himself into a little bit of trouble. Can't deny him getting the footy. Spills out towards Hallett. Has Van Verhoosten for company. Comes back to Van Verhoosten. Now they're in trouble, far side of the ground. Over there towards Riley, down a high up and under. Favours Ben Taylor, and he takes the mark deep in defence for the Cougars. He'll go short and find Matt Marinoni. Still deep in defence. Inside defensive 50. Weighing up all options. Goes short again and finds Abbott. Just maintaining possession. Finds Ashton. Ashton being called to play on. High up and under. Bellotti in best position. Could have taken the mark. Spills off his chest. Goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. 75 metres out from goal. Right in front of Boyup Brooks interchange box. And still 26 points the margin. It's been down their end for the last 4 or 5 minutes. They just got no score to show for it. Comes to Park. Gets the handball back out towards Patrick Riley. He has Lachlan Tully for company. Spills out to Matt Marinoni. Chucks it onto his left boot. In front is O'Neill. And he takes the mark. Player in the middle of the ground. Goes that way and finds him. And that's Riley Downer. Gets onto his left boot. Puts it deep inside 50. Johnson pushes back. Misses what he should have taken. Comes to Kuminaro. Couldn't get the handball over. It's cut off by Abbott. He goes wide and finds Weasel. Jermaine Weasel. Player running for him. He'll go that way. Nearly cut off by O'Brien. It's Van Verhoosten. Comes in the middle of the ground. Taylor with a couple of metres on his opponent. Takes a mark. Too far out to score. Bullet-like pass. Finds Smith. And Kyle Smith will go back from 35 metres. Slight angle. To get another one for the Cougars. first time forward 3 or 4 minutes. It's been down Boyup Brook's end. They just have not been able to find the major. Put some scoreboard pressure on. And Kyle Smith, been in career best form, 7 goals last week. And he'll come in to increase this margin out to 32 points. In he comes now, Smith, deliberate shot on goal, and he's made no mistake. So Smith gets his name on the scoreboard. Margin out to 32 points. Maybe disappointed with that, the home side, for all their good work. They just lean off their players a little bit as it went forward. And they're not scared to bring the ball into the corridor. The Cougars brought it in early. And a terrific pass from Taylor. Found Smith working hard, and he made no mistake from 35 metres out, directly in front. So 8 goals, 149, 2 goals, 5-17, 32 points the margin. Under a minute to go in this second quarter. 1 down by Bleachmore. Favours Riley. Cut off by Marinoni. Gets a handball back to O'Shea. High up and under. Over the top come Weasel. Spills out to Smith. Gets a handball back to Taylor. Can give it back to Smith. No, he'll go longer to Luciv. And Luciv runs into an open goal. And within a minute, back-to-back goals to the Cougars. And another one to Luciv. And he's got 3 as we near on half-time. So a little bit too easy out of the middle of the ground. Taylor thought about giving the handball to Smith, but Luciv had pushed back to the goal square. Caught the defence of Boyup Brook in no man's land, and Luciv made no mistake. Ball back in the middle. 1 down by Bleachmore towards Riley. Patrick Riley wrapped up straight away by O'Shea. Umpire to come and throw the ball up once again. So, first half of footy, all done here at the Boyup Brook Recreational Ground. Terrific kicking by the visitors. 9 goals, 155. 38 points the margin. 2 goals, 5-17. Matt Marinoni with 1. Lee Luciv with 3. 2 in that second quarter. Jermaine Weasel with 1. Harry Taylor with 2. Mitch Blakers and Kyle Smith with 1 apiece. 4 goals to 1 in that second quarter. Nadusi with the only goal in the first quarter for the Roos. And Luke Riley with the only goal in the second quarter for the home side as well. And they find themselves 38 points down at the half. For all their good work and all the time spent forward, they just could not get a score on the board. And they'll find themselves 38 points down, and they'll go into the second half, needing to get a couple of goals early to get themselves back in the game. They've held fast in this opening half. Tackling pressure's been terrific from both sides. A couple of undisciplined acts by both sides has probably cost more Boyup Brook, more forward entries to give themselves a chance of getting a major. But it didn't happen. 38 points the margin, and we'll be back shortly with the second half. So umpires back out on the ground. The second half, both teams haven't got back out there yet. Just getting their final instructions from their coaches. 38 points the margin. 2 goals, 5-17 to 9. 8 goals, 1. 9 goals, 1, 55. So really accurate kicking, but they just find that spare man as they go on forward. They've kicked 3 or 4 goals from the top of the goal square, running into open goals. Very unselfish team, the Cougars. They made no mistake in front of the big sticks and find themselves 38 points up. So we'll just go through our sponsors. Kojonup Tyre Power presenting the classic clash today between the Boyup Brook Roos and the Kojonup Cougars. And Boyup Brook, terrific win in the reserves today. 13 goals, 583 to 12 goals, 880. One of the better game of reserves I've seen for a long, long time. Just 2 teams wanting a win, fought right down to the wire. The margin was 9 points, but a terrific kick on goal. I'm not sure who it was from the Kojonup youngster. Put it through, and that margin was 3 points in the end in favour of the home side. Great Southern Fuels, Agfree, Delta Ag, Kimberley Accommodation Group, UDF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Dartfish, Archie's, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premier Grains, Kojonup Gateway Hotel and Pemberton Hotel. Go and see the big fella Paul Chookie Fowler at one of those establishments. You'll get a feed, a bit of abuse, good service and a cold beer. And he'll let you know all about all of them. Big Paul Fowler, a terrific sponsor of the Lower South West Footy League and the Classic Clash today between the Boyup Brook Roos and the Kojonup Cougars. Also like to mention on behalf of the Bridgetown Footy Club that they do have Terry Danaher and Rodney Hogg presenting this Thursday at the football club rooms. Tickets are available from Rich Feeds. The Danaher family, obviously sad news during the week with the passing of Terry's brother Neil, who put up a terrific fight against MND. It got him in the end. Geez, he hung in there, raised a lot of money, and hopefully his legacy will live on forever, not only in footy, but what he's done to help fight that disease and find an outcome that can help anyone that's affected by that disease, whether you know someone or know of someone. So he's committed to be there next Thursday, and by all accounts, a terrific speaker. What a family the Danaher family is. And also Rodney Hogg, by all accounts as well. He tells it how it is and how it should be. Probably not politically correct, but if you come up through the old school, you'll love someone talking like that. Played, obviously, Test cricket, so he's played cricket at the highest level, and I'm sure he'll have a few stories to tell. If you have any dramas, ring the Mayor of Bridgetown Greenbushes in Baz, Darren Tassos, his birthday today, so happy birthday, Baz. But yes, it should be a good event Thursday night. Go and see Liam at Rich Feeds and they'll help you out with a ticket. And let's make sure we patronise all these clubs. So we need to patronise all our footy clubs to make things work. Whether you support one or the other, you can support in all different ways. So both teams out on the field. Boyup Brook, not without their chances, probably maintain possession of the football forward at centre for probably the majority of that second quarter. But when Kojonup went forward, well, they made the most of their opportunities and kicked a couple of late goals back-to-back and find themselves kicking 4 goals to 1 in that second quarter and stretching that margin. 4 goals neat in that second quarter, with the home side only 1 goal, 2-8. The margin now 38 points. Also like to recognise our cameraman Graham, doing a terrific job. The rain's coming in, Graham, but he's under shelter. And my old sparring partner in Lee Beadle, commonly known as Juice, here. Also see another old sparring partner out there in the middle of the goal sticks. He's probably having a frothy as we speak. Juice, no doubt. And Dave Ingles, Ratsack. So it's good to see some familiar faces and all trying to make this footy club, work as we do. We play the game and then we go into different roles just to maintain what we built over a long period of time. Here he comes now, export in hand, shorts, freezing cold, but that's Dave Ingles, that's the Ratsack we all come to know and love. And players get out into position, and 38 points the margin. Thank our sponsors. And let's see what Boyup can do in this second half. Their tackling pressure has been terrific. Just a couple of undisciplined things has allowed them not to go forward to give themselves chances to kick goals, even though they dominated for probably middle parts of that second quarter. So players just about ready to get underway. If they can get the opening goal here and give themselves some confidence and back it up with another one or two, then all of a sudden they're right back in this game. Kojonup with a few injuries, still hold a commanding 38-point lead, but everyone would have thought that it could have been a little bit more considering where the two teams are on the ladder. Away we go. One down by Park for the Roos. Spills out. Van Berhoosen comes in, lays a strong tackle. Umpire comes in and will throw the ball up. That was on Downer. Started to get himself involved. One down by Van Berhoosen. Over to O'Shea. Looks down for Taylor. He allows it to pass by him. Spills onto the ground. Comes towards Caritas. Done some good things. Out towards the big fella. Pasotto. Handball to O'Brien. Back to Pasotto for the Roos. High up and under. Into no one in particular. Uncontested mark taken by Van Berhoosen. Right in the middle of the ground. Got a player wide in Johnson. And finds him. So the kick under pressure has allowed the Cougars to maintain possession. Goes wide and finds Abbott. Being called to play on. He'll put it inside 50. Thompson in best position for the Roos. One grab. Taylor couldn't take it on the second. Spills out towards Patrick Riley. Pasotto comes in, lays a tackle. Umpire to throw it up. This time inside the Cougars, forward 50. Thompson wins it down. Socket off the ground towards Luciv. In he comes now. His own player knocks him out of the way. Luciv with an interesting tackle technique. Umpire once again will come in and throw the ball up. This time 35 metres out from goal. Thompson wins it down over to O'Brien. Just chucks it onto his left boot. It's going to favour Tully and he takes the mark inside the centre square. Has players working for him. Been called to play on, drives the ball long, looks down for Taylor. He's on a searching lead, nearly takes a chest mark, spills out to O'Neill. And the non-officiating umpire has called the free kick, and it's going to go the way of Harry Taylor for the Cougars. 45 metres out, goes the pass looking for Luciv. And Luciv takes the mark. And the opening shot on goal in the third quarter will go the way of the visitors. Luciv already with 3 to his name. 1 in the first, 2 in the second. He'll go back from 30 metres out. Slight angle. And this for his fourth. Little bit of a skip. Lee Luciv. In he comes now. Not his best kick. Goes through for a minor score. So a let off there for the Roos. Minor score there to Luciv. 9 goals, 2, 56. 39 points the margin. And big Ryan spud Pasotto to bring the ball back into play. Runs out of the goal square. He's going to go long. Goes long and strong. Looking for Nadusi. Well spoilt by Johnson. Spills out towards Park. Probably Boyup's best. Handball comes back to Park. Gets through 1, then 2. Over to Riley. Cuts through. O'Brien told him to go. Now he's under pressure. Blake is in best position. Takes the mark. And he'll reload for the Cougars. Has a player short. And that's O'Shea. Handballs back to Blake as running on. Goes inside 50. Looks for Luciv. 3 deep. Spills over the back. That's O'Neill. Just chucks it onto his boot. There's no one there. Van Berhoosen first back. Gets a handball out to Taylor. Ben gets around 1. Drives it back inside 50. O'Neill in best position. But over the top of him came his teammate in Thompson. And he takes a terrific defensive mark deep inside 50. Goes long in the middle of the ground. Not sure who he's looking for. Blakers misses the mark. No pressure. Probably not enough pressure. Wheels around. Could have done better. Favours Thompson once again. Spills out towards Luciv. Tries to get around 1. Handballs over to Taylor. Puts him under pressure. In comes O'Brien. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 20 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Throwing up. Thompson does the ruck work. Spills towards Harry Taylor. Reels around 1. Comes inboard and finds Smith. Takes the mark in front of Cubanaro. And he'll have a shot on goal. 45 metres out, directly in front. and this for his second. The games I've watched this year, he would be my hot favourite halfway through the season for the Association medal, the Tyre Power medal. Him and Tim Davies have been outstanding. Kyle Smith, one in that second quarter. Deliberate shot on goal. This to increase the margin. Crosses 50. It's a good looking kick on goal. It's done enough. Umpire had to work a little bit, but straight through the middle it goes. Smith gets his second. And this margin ever increasing as the opening goal of the third quarter goes away of the visitors. Courtesy long range shot from Kyle Smith. 10 goals, 262. 45 points the margin, 2 goals, 5-17. It's getting into dangerous territory now for the home side. Haven't been inside 50 early stages of their third quarter. Just some under pressure kicks coming out of defence has allowed Kojonup to reload time after time. Ball back in the middle. Park does the ruck work, spills out towards Hallett, gets a handball over to O'Brien. Been one of Boyup's best as well. Chucks it onto his boot. But player in best position is Johnson. Player working wide. Taylor gets onto his left boot. He goes short and finds O'Shea. Still inside defensive 50. Can go back to where it come from. Decides to go even shorter. So just maintaining possession. Goes wider and finds the ruckman, the veteran ruckman in Ashton. Looks down there for Harry Taylor over the top. Kane Posotto spills out the back towards Luciv. Puts it to the top of the square. They have numbers here. Caritis is there. It spills out towards O'Halloran, and he chucks it onto his right boot, and O'Halloran gets his name on the scoreboard with his first. And this margin ever increasing, 6 points at a time, end-to-end stuff from the Cougars, and O'Halloran gets his name on the scoreboard with his first. So 2-0, early stages of this third quarter. 51 points the margin. And it's getting nasty now for the Roos. Just methodical with the way they use the ball are the Cougars. Their possession game is high, but they don't miss targets. And they use the whole oval to set up their players for a decent shot on goal. And they haven't let them down as it goes forward. This time it's one down by Ashton to Smith. Smith goes short. Terrific looking kick. Comes inside 50 looking for Taylor. Taylor has metres on Posotto. And Harry Taylor takes the mark. It's becoming a little bit too easy now for the visitors. Taylor will go back, kick from 45 metres out. Already with a couple to his name. One in the first, one in the second. This to get his first of the third quarter and his team's third. Harry Taylor, terrific pickup, terrific player. Crosses 50 now. Deliberate shot on goal. It's got a fair piece of it. It's working back. Umpire says that's good enough for me. And another one to the Cougars. 3 to Harry Taylor. And it's real dangerous now for Boyup Brook. They just cannot find an avenue to have a decent shot on goal. And once that ball's turned over, it is slingshotted with pace and precision down the ground, allowing their forwards plenty of space to move into. And they are making no mistake from range as Taylor gets his third. Margin now 57 points. Ball in the middle, comes to O'Shea, gets a handball over to Reed. Spills out, umpire's seen a free kick. And it'll go the way of Reed, right in the middle of the ground. Has players running past. It's a handball over to Smith, getting himself involved in the game now. Handball over towards Stratton Jones. Under pressure. Ball's going to land in front of Jermaine Weasel. Kick the goal early. Goes short and finds Taylor once again. He'll look for a pass here, Taylor. That's a beautiful looking kick from Taylor. And Taylor finds Marinoni directly in front. 35 metres out. And once again, the foot skills of the Cougars is cutting through the defence of the home side. And Marinoni kicked the opening goal of the game for the Cougars. Will go back for his second. So Matt Marinoni, in he comes now, not wasting any time. Deliberate shot on goal. Umpire doesn't move. Another one to the visitors. Marinoni second. 4-0 in this third quarter. Still with 11 and a half minutes to play. And it's looking real dangerous now for the Roos. Real nasty. They can't get it forward to the centre at the moment. And as soon as there is a mistake in the middle of the ground, the Cougars are making them pay and allowing their forwards easy access to goal. Ball in the middle. Bleachmore back in the ruck. Spills out towards Riley. Luke Riley. Ball in dispute, middle of the ground. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. As Johnson picks himself up. Bleachmore to do the ruck work against Isaiah Reid. Reid wins it down. Spills out to O'Brien. Being good. Handball out towards Park. Boyup's best for mine. High up and under kick. Tonkin's there. Carries the pack. Spills over towards Blakers. Now he's pushing back Mitch Blakers. Sockers it off the ground. Looking there for Tonkin. Comes back towards Kubanaro. Gets a handball out to Riley. This looks better for the Roos. He'll go short looking for the big fella in Nadusi. And the strong hands of Will Nadusi takes the mark in front of Abbott. And he'll go back 35 metres out directly in front. This for his second. If they can get it close to this bloke, he can do the rest. And they might have to play him up the ground a little bit further so he's amongst the play. Big Will Nadusi. The beautiful kick of the footy. Last time I said that, he hit the top of the post. Let's see what he can do this time. Deliberate shot on goal. No problem there for the big fella. So the home side gets one back. Their first of the third quarter. Stop a run of 4 goals straight in this third quarter to Kojonup. And Will Nadusi gets his second. And 3 goals, 5-23. So 47 points the margin. 57 points the margin, sorry. Halfway through this third quarter, Nadusi gets one back. But that was better play on that stoppage. Comes out to Riley, and Riley had a bit of time to assess the situation. Nadusi with a strong lead, strong mark, and a great finish. Middle of the ground, comes to O'Brien. Forward they go again, looking for Thompson. And Thompson takes the mark in front of Blakers. He'll look for Nadusi once again. Good-looking kick. Carries over the top of him. Touched there by Abbott. In comes Abbott. Strong tackle. Riley. Umpire to throw it up. 25 metres out from Boyup's goal. The tail up. Can they get back-to-back goals? They're in a good position. Spills towards Marinoni. High up and under. O'Brien in best position. Affects the spoil. Spills over to Park. Gets around one. Then another. Then to Kumanaro. Has time to assess. Looks forward. Carries his player. Tries to get the handball over to Van Verhoosen. Boundary line will be the winner here. Goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. Right on 50. It's amazing what a goal does in modern day footy. And boy, Brook look a different team after Nadusi took that strong mark. Still a long way behind. Ball's one down to Kumanaro. He's been good today. Wrapped up by Norrish. Umpire to come in and throw the ball up. This time Thompson does the ruck work. Spills out towards Patrick Riley. Tries to get a handball out illegally, says the umpire. And they received the free kick. It's Norrish. One of his side's better players today. Gets onto his left boot, goes short, asking a fair bit of Weasel. Mark dropped there by Hallett. Gets a handball over. Weasel towards Taylor. That goes out of bounds. Umpire right on the scene. Throw the ball in right in front of the interchange box for the visitors. So 2 kicks out from goal, from Boyup's goal. 3 goals, 5-23. 13 goals, 280 the score. Still 8.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Ball's thrown in. Favours Bleachmore. Gets the ball down. Weasel's wrapped up straight away by Riley. That's Patrick Riley. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Bleachmore up against Ashton this time. Ashton wins it down. Comes back to Bleachmore. Over to Hallett. Head over the ball. Hallett tries to keep it in. Couldn't do so. Comes to Van Verhoosen. Courtesy of a handball from Marinoni. Spills out of bounds. And the free kick, the lasso they call it, apparently, will go the way of Liam Park. His team's best by far. Goes short, looking for Kubinaro. Could have been interfered with. Spills out to Van Verhoosen. Handball over to Marinoni. Goes short and finds Smith. Taking the mark in front of Pizzotto. Centre wing. Members side. Kyle Smith. He's going to go long now. Plays around the man on the mark. Has Weasel working for him. And he takes an uncontested overhead mark. Still too far out to score. Jermaine Weasel goes back in the middle of the ground and finds the veteran ruckman in Ashton. Ashton goes short, looking for Marinoni. Misses his target straight away. Comes over the back towards O'Brien. In they come now. Handball in the direction of Luke Riley. Misses him. But Riley wraps up. Kojonup player there. Ball to be thrown up. Right on the half-forward line for Kojonup. Bleachmore to do the ruck work. No ruckman wins it down. Riley out of the way. He was given. In comes Weasel. Tries to put the big hit on. Ball's tied up. Thrown up. Groundhog Day once again. Liam Park limping out of that contest. They can't afford him to go off. He's been their best player. Spills out towards Pizzotto. O'Brien. Pizzotto tries to get the handball over. It's cut off. Umpire once again will come in and throw the ball up. Ball going nowhere. 3 stoppages so far. This time Bleachmore wins the ball down, pushes it forward, comes in and puts a second effort on. Gains 4 or 5 metres for his side. So near on centre wing, far side of the ground. Ashton wins it down. Been terrific duel today. Spills to Patrick Riley. Comes over to Kubinaro. Goes long and finds the chest of young Knapp. Handball over to O'Brien. Gets onto his left boot. Sneaky little handball over. Ball goes long looking for Ben Thompson. Better ball movement there by the Roos. And Thompson takes the mark. Have a shot on goal. 45 metres out. That kick coming from Hallett. So Ben Thompson, back-to-back goals for the Roos. Shallow all the way and through for a minor score. But better ball movement there by the Roos. Gave themselves every opportunity as Abbott plays on straight away out of the goal square. Got Taylor working for him. Calls in O'Shea. Goes through the hands of O'Shea. Spills out to Taylor. Back to O'Shea. Tries to be cute down the line. Bounces over. Kuminaro comes back to him courtesy of a handball from Pizzotto. Then to Patrick Riley. Drives the ball long. Nadusi in best position and takes a mark in front of Abbott. So Bigwell Nadusi directly in front will kick from 45 metres out. And for the first time in this game, has a chance, an opportunity for back-to-back goals for the home side. I wouldn't be looking for any passes. Distance won't be a problem here. The big number 28, in he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. Works a little bit. And another let-off for the visitors and only through for a minor score. So a couple of let-offs. Last couple of minutes, Boyup have had all the play. I just can't get a score on the board. Abbott brings the ball in, goes wide, and finds Weasel. Centre wing. Umpire's seen a free kick. Don't get me started on this standing rule. We could be here all day into the 5th quarter. And this would take Weasel to half forward. He'll put this deep inside 50. Looking for leads. Goes wide now. Looking there for Smith. He's got O'Neill. And O'Neill for the Roos takes a terrific contested mark. Has a player wide. Goes that way. And it's Park. Still deep inside 50. Another player short. Goes longer. He'll look up there for Riley. Outnumbered 2-1. One of them's Johnson. Kumanaro in front. Picks up the stoppage. Handball out. Back to Patrick Riley. Middle of the ground. Finds Pisotto. Better ball movement here by the Roos. Ryan Pisotto. Goes short. Looking for O'Brien. And O'Brien takes it to a terrific mark. Halfway through the 1st quarter, he's been terrific. O'Brien, it's onto his left boot, not his best kick. I've talked him up. It's cut off there by Tonkin. Hit him lace out. Goes short and finds Smith right in the middle of the ground. Just maintaining possession here, the Cougars. Brook have done well to hold everything up. Smith now has to go long. Good looking kick. Lands in front of Taylor. Bounces back up to him. Drives the ball long. Looking for Weasel. Could have been taken high. Umpire was right there. Didn't see it. Handball back from Weasel. Back towards Taylor. Over to Van Verhoosen. Van Verhoosen has a shot on goal. And he puts it through. Those small mistakes are costly. Van Verhoosen gets his name on the scoreboard. 5-1 in this 3rd quarter. And they just have all the answers. Brilliant assessment of the situation there from Smith. Had the penetrating kick. Bounced back to Taylor. And Taylor unselfishly handballed over to Van Verhoosen. And he made no mistake from 35 metres out, running into an open goal. So margin, 63 points. Pisotto now in the ruck. Goes down, comes back to him, gets a handball out. Good looking handball too to Patrick Riley. He'll go long. Has a player there. 1 grab, 2 grab. Nadusi takes the mark. 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. I'm not going to talk him up this time, Juice. I've put him off twice now. Probably cost him a handful of goals. But geez, he looks a player. If they can maintain constant supply, this bloke will kick you a bag. In he comes now. A couple of little skips. No problem this time. Straight through the middle. Nadusi gets his 2nd of the 3rd quarter. He's 3rd for the game. And they get the instant response to the home side. 1.5 to go in this 3rd quarter. 57 points the margin. If they can get that ball moving quickly, especially at half forward, and allow Nadusi to be out, 1 out with his direct opponent, you'd back him in 9 times out of 10. He's an imposing young fella. Good set of hands, a terrific kick. So he gets his 3rd. Ball back in the middle. 1 down by Pisotto again. Instrumental in that last goal. Here he goes again, the big fella. Tries to barge his way through. Now he comes in. Lays a tackle on Smith. And ball to be thrown up. Just left the centre. 57 points to margin. 4-7. 14-2 in favour of the Cougars. Spills out towards Smith. O'Brien lays the tackle. Ball spills out. O'Brien comes back in, as well as Riley. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Pisotto gets up high, wins the ball down. Wrapped up straight away is Riley. Umpire will do it all over again. Nearing in on 3-quarter time. Can they sneak one here? The home side. Big punch forward. Lands towards Miller. Could have been pushed in the back. Now he's held without it, so he wins the free kick. He won't know how much time is left. Get it towards the big fella. Goes that way. Doesn't carry past him. Marks missed by Tonkin. Now it's in a dangerous position. Ben Thompson's there. Handball towards Kakiri. Has he got time to snap around? Falls over his own feet. Gets it back to Patrick Riley. Tries to go out to Kubinaro. Back to Miller where it all started. Gets around one. Then he's smothered. Terrific smother by the Kojonup defence. At three-quarter time here at the Boyup Brook Recreational Ground. 4 goals, 7-31. 14 goals, 288. 57 points to margin. 5 goals to 2 in that third quarter. Ever increasing that margin. But Boyup Brook, halfway through that quarter when Nadusi got their opening goal of that term, they lifted. Pizzotto in the ruck for the last 2 or 3 minutes was terrific. They're holding, but this margin is a very nice one for the visitors. 57 points. We'll be back shortly with the last quarter. I think the rain will beat the rain today, but a terrific game of footy. It's just that all the turnovers that are created by the Cougars turn into goals down one end, and Boyup Brook's forward line is under constant pressure. But if they can get in there quick enough to their big power forward, he'll give you opportunities to kick a score. I just can't get it down there often enough and quick enough, and Kojonup make them pay. But we'll be back shortly. 57 points the margin in favour of the Cougars for the last quarter here at the Boyup Brook Recreational Ground. Both teams still in their huddle. Three-quarter time here, Boyup Brook Recreational Ground. 57 points to margin. Doesn't reflect how good a game it's been. I mean, Boyup have had more than moments that they've been on top. Probably half of that second quarter, they really got on top. They just couldn't score. In the last 4 or 5 minutes of that third quarter, only getting the one major. But they're not giving up. If they can get it down there quick enough, the big power forward in Nadusi, and if I don't put the mocker on him, he'll probably kick a score. But he's got 3 goals. Luke Riley's got 1. And for the visitors, Marinoni's got 2, Matt Marinoni. Lee Looser 3, Weasel 1, Harry Taylor 3, Mitch Blakers 1, Kyle Smith 2, O'Halloran and Van Verhoosen 1 apiece, both in that third quarter. So very unselfish, but it's their turnovers. They create the turnovers to the opposition, to the Cougars, and more times than not, it results in a shot on goal, and more times than not, out of that, it results in a goal. So just about to get underway. The last quarter here. We're going to beat the rain. Let's see what the home side can do. Ashton up against Park. Park gets up high, wins the ball down to O'Brien. Been good today. Chucks it onto his left boot. Spills out towards Miller. It's cut off. Comes towards Thompson. Tackles laid. Ball to be thrown up. Right on centre half forward. Park's been terrific for the visitors. Ashton this time takes clean possession. Ball spills out of his hands. Comes towards Smith. Got himself involved. Over to Van Verhoosen. Handball out to O'Shea. Far side of the ground was Bellotti. Pushed off his kick. Comes towards Patrick Riley. Handball out to Park. Chucks it onto his left boot. This is better. Will it land for Nadusi? Gets his player under the ball. Sit up for him. Ball's still in dispute. Comes Kumanaro. He's been good today. Gets around one. Could have been tackled high. Umpire says yes. Kojonup pleading that he ducked his head as he was tackled. And this guy's been pretty good as well. Kumanaro, he'll have the opening shot of the last quarter. 20 metres out, directly in front. Hasn't given up trying. We missed to get that margin back to 51 points. But the opening score of the last quarter, in he comes now, deliberate shot on goal, no mistake. Kumanaro gets himself on the scoreboard. And the opening goal of the last quarter goes the way of the Roos. And they move to 5 goals, 7, 37, 14 goals, 2, 88, 86. So 49 points the margin, early stages of this last quarter. So 12 scoring shots to 16. So they've had a fair bit of the play. Probably out of those 7 points, 3 or 4 of those should have been goals. And that margin, even though it would have been reasonable, would have been a lot closer. One out of the middle. It'll be Kyle Smith that drives the ball forward. Looking there for Harry Taylor in front of Pizzotto. Gets his big mitts up, puts him into a fist and said, get that out of here. Spoils the ball out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in 35 metres out from goal. Kojonup's in this time. Been a good duel that, Pizzotto and Taylor. Pizzotto was good in the ruck, late stage of that third quarter. Now he's got to do the ruck work. Wins it down towards Patrick Riley. Could have been taken high. Spills out with Thompson. Thompson gets it out, but it's cut off by Van Verhoosen. Handball over towards O'Shea. Wields around on his left boot. Outnumbered, Pizzotto in front. Chapman's there, but he's wrapped up. Umpire to throw the ball up. 30 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Pizzotto does the ruck work, hitting the ball hard. So O'Shea misses everything, out of bounds. And the free kick will go the way of the home side. And will go the way of Fraser Mead. Deep in defence. Has O'Brien working for him. He's going to have to kick long. Does so. Still inside 50. Carries O'Brien. Mark missed out the back. Spills over towards Riley. Could have been taken high. Wins the free kick. Goes short. Finds brother Luke. Just outside defensive 50. Just maintaining possession. Goes wide. Finds Park. Ball in dispute. Far side of the ground. Bellotti's there. Gets a handball out. Puts his teammate under pressure. Umpire once again. Centre wing. Far side of the ground. Will come in and throw the ball up. Umpire's been good today. A couple of relay free kicks they paid were there. Both teams didn't argue. Ball's pushed forward. It'll favour Ben Thompson. He takes the mark low down. Put it inside 50. Looks at the big fella Nadusi on a searching lead. And he takes the chest mark in front of Abbott. He kicked one a couple of games ago from this range. I don't think range is going to worry him too much. Let's see what he can do. He'll go back. He's going for his fourth. One in the first, two in the third quarter. And the opening 2 goals could come the way of the home side. So Will Nadusi, terrific young kid, right on 50, nearly gets to the man on the mark. It's got the journey. It's going to land at the top of the square. Mark nearly taken. Pushed over the boundary line by Tonkin. The ball to be thrown in. 10 metres out. Got close to the man on the mark there, Nadusi. High up and under. Still got to the top of the goal square. Defence of the Cougars helped it over the boundary line. Thompson does the ruck work, wins it out towards Riley, comes back to Nadusi, tries to cut through the pack, handball over to Thompson, back to Nadusi, misses it. Now they're away. Over to Ben Taylor, gets onto his left boot, right in front of the commentary box, is going to carry over and find Harry Taylor taking the mark in front of O'Neill. Centre wing, Harry Taylor. He's been called to play on now. He's going to have to go long. Cute little kick looking for Luciv. Takes a strong mark in front of Chapman. Lee Luciv. Now he plays on. Runs himself into a little bit of trouble. Gets it over to O'Shea. High up and under. It's going to favour Hanson of Boyup. And Hanson takes the mark just inside defensive 50. Couple of players short. Risky kick looking for Mead. Luciv comes in late, but Mead takes the mark. Right on halfback. He'll switch play. Go wide. Look for O'Brien. And he takes the mark. It's a bit of ball movement. Has Riley on a searching lead. That's Luke Riley. And centre wing, far side of the ground. He takes the mark. Now he comes inboard. Dangerous kick. Could have been held. They have the numbers. One of them's Tonkin. The ball spills out. In comes Patrick Riley. Hallett's there. Patrick Riley picks it up off the ground. Wrapped up by Bellotti. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Middle of the ground. A bit of ball movement there by the Roos. Maintaining possession. Park wins the ball down once again. Comes out towards Ben Taylor. Tries to keep the ball in play. Gained about 20 metres there, the home side. Right on the centre half forward line, the half forward line. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. 49 points the margin. Park wins it down. O'Brien in front position. Still in dispute. In they come now. Riley's there. So is Bellotti. Isaiah Reid as well. Park just punches it forward. Bellotti. In they come. Knapp spills out of his hands. A tackle from Perrin. Umpire to do it all over again. Park being terrific in the ruck. Wins it down to Kubinaro. Could have been legged. I said no. Tackle was legal. Holding the ball. Spills out to Taylor. Goes short and finds Luciv. Takes the mark as he does a forward roll. Has players running past. One of them's Abbott. He'll go backwards and find Johnson. Johnson this time has Abbott. Just maintaining possession. He'll go short. Carries over the top and finds Tully. Centre wing, right in front of the member stand. Looking for options. Now he's going to go long. Looking for Harry Taylor. Outnumbered 2-1. One of them's O'Neill. And O'Neill takes the chest mark on the second grab as Weasel come in late. Player wide is Riley Downer. Gets onto his left boot. Has O'Brien working hard on the far side of the ground. Finds him. Gets a handball back. Has a bounce. It's a good bounce. He's got some wheels. Now a wheel onto his left boot. High up and under. Knapp asking a fair bit of him. Johnson comes in. Could have been paid the mark. Umpire says no. Spills out the back towards Abbott. Handball out towards Blakers. Still inside 50. Been asked to go long. They have the numbers here. Boyup, Brook. One of them is Mead. And he takes the mark, centre wing. So starting to get some numbers around the ball. Not his best kick. That lands in the arms of Blake is just inside defensive 50. So Blake has kicked the goal early in the game. Been down back for the majority of the second half. He goes wide and finds Taylor. Has Marinoni in short. Misses that option. Goes to Van Verhoosen. Goes short now. Marinoni's run on and he takes the mark. Even wider. And Luciv takes the mark in front of Hansen. Looking for options. Has one in the middle of the ground. Risky kick. In comes Pasotto. Affects the spoil. Comes back towards Luciv where he kicked it from. Hansen's there. Luciv picks it up. Spills out towards Pasotto. Big arc there from the big fella. Puts it into the middle of the ground. Not sure who he was looking for, but they have the numbers here, the Cougars. One of them is Marinoni. Gets onto his left boot. Goes short and finds O'Shea right on 50. Handball back to Marinoni. He'll have a shot on goal. It's going to land right at the square. The ball's helped through from Ben Chapman for the Roos and through for a minor score. The 14 goals, 3, 87, 50 points the margin. So they're holding. Still a big margin. Hansen brings the ball back into play. Looks for Riley. Good looking kick. Should have done better there. Riley. Thompson comes in to help him out. Gets the handball over to Patrick Riley. Gets onto his left boot. Looking inboard from Mead. Spills out the back towards Isaiah Reid. Shot on goal from Isaiah Reid. Through for a minor score. Good idea there from Riley, just missed his target. And as soon as you miss your target against this team, you know they're there in numbers and they seem to find some space. As Hansen brings the ball in, goes to Downer. Far side of the ground, looking there, it's a good mark. That's Nadusi pushing right up the ground. He won't kick it from there, Juice, no way. We can talk about his kick. What's his field kicking like? Pretty good. Caminaro should have done better. Misses the mark. Spills back towards him. Tries to get the handball out to O'Brien. Now O'Brien's got to lay the tackle. Does so. That was on Smith. Umpire comes in. Throws the ball up. Spills out towards Riley. Taken high in the tackle by Marinoni. He wins the free kick, centre wing, far side of the ground. 51 points to margin. He'll come inboard and find brother Luke. Don't mind this, as long as they hit their targets. That's not one of them. That's the opposition. That's Marinoni. Tries to get the kick towards Taylor. Lands at his feet. Does well, the big fella. Knocks it out now. It spills out to Luciv. Open shot on goal from Luciv. Mistake punished, and Luciv gets one in the last quarter. Opening goal for the Cougars in the last quarter goes the way of Lee Luciv. He gets his 4th. And the mistakes seem to be punished more often than not. And another one there, Luciv didn't have any other options other than him and the goals. And from 40 metres out, he made no mistake. So 15 goals, 494, 5 goals, 737, 57 points the margin, 8 minutes to go in this last quarter, and Lee Luciv, 1 in each quarter, 4 for the game so far, and still plenty of time for him to get another 5, couple of goals to get himself a handful. Ball spills out towards Kyle Smith in the direction of Hansen. Misses him. Chucked onto the boot. In front is the Kojonup player in Isaiah Reid. Gets the ball out. Spills out towards Kubanaro. Being good. Handball out to Pasotto. Kicks around the body to Kakari. How will it bounce for him? Misses what he should have taken. Now Van Verhoosen in best position. Pirouettes into Kubanaro. Tackle. Wraps him up. Right on 50. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 7.5 minutes to go. 57 points the margin. Comes back to Kumanaro. This time handball to Kakiri. Tries to get it out to Ben Thompson. Misses him. Van Verhoosen's there. So is Norwich. In they come. O'Brien's there, as well as Riley. Picking himself up off the bottom of the pack is O'Shea. Ball to be thrown up. Bleachmore, one down by Ashton. Over towards O'Shea. Handball out the back towards Van Verhoosen. Smothered there by Kakiri. Then he could have been tackled without it. Play on advantage to O'Neill. Not his best looking kick. Johnson in best position. Has time. Gets a long handball out to Blakers. Has a look around. Handballs to Ashton. Fames the handball. Goes inboard and finds Smith. Still inside the centre square. Blakers runs past. He'll go longer than that. Looks down there for Isaiah Reid. Has plenty of time. Gets around one. Handballs over to Taylor. Can handball to Elusive. Snaps around his body, does Taylor. And only through for a minor score. Could have handballed to Elusive then. They must have a side bet going on as to who kicks the most goals at the end of the year. I'm sure they don't. And Taylor missed under a little bit of pressure, 10 metres out and through for a minor score. Hansen to reload for the Roos. Nicholas Hansen, terrific kick of the footy, has a bounce, goes short, good kick, finds Riley. Still inside defensive 50, Luke Riley. Goes short as well, puts his teammate under a little bit of pressure. It's Bleachmore. Stretches up, takes the mark. Been called to play on. Now that's a risky kick. Thompson in front, puts one hand up, spills out towards Marinoni. Under pressure, middle of the ground. Kick comes towards Smith. Picks it up on one grab, spills out to O'Brien for the Roos. Woods fumbly in the middle, comes back to O'Brien. O'Brien gets it out towards Riley. Riley gets it out to Downer. He'll get onto his left boot. He'll have a shot on goal, does he? Goal! So a goal out of nowhere to Riley Downer. It was a comedy of errors in the middle of the ground. But in the end, a goal is scored. They've done well here. 2-1. 5 minutes to go in this last quarter. Margin 52 points. So it sort of got out to that stages of that second quarter. Boyup have hung in there, not without their chances to reduce that margin. I'm not saying they would have won, but it could have been a lot closer. A few let-offs, but they've hung in there. 2-1 in this last quarter. Ball back in the middle. No one wins it out. Kuminaro ducks out of a tackle, has a bounce, doesn't come back to him. Think he spent it before he got it. Manages to get the kick out towards Ben Thompson. He'll go long. Looking for Riley. Should have done better. The ball goes out of bounds. Might be out of bounds on the full. Ball to be brought back in by Tonkin. So they haven't given up. Tonkin tries to go short. O'Brien gets Norris under the ball. Spills out the back. As the umpires see this one. Ball to be thrown in. 60 metres out from Boyup's goal. 6 goals, 7, 43. 15 goals, 5, 95. Spills out towards Smith. Handball comes back over, but the boundary line wins. Ball to be thrown in. This time inside forward 50 for the Roos. In another goal scoring position. Thompson does the ruck work. Win it down. Comes to Park. Wrapped up in a tackle. Handball out. Over to Downer. Last goal kicker. Top of the goal square. Big Nadusi. Couldn't take the mark. Front position. Spills out towards Blakers. Has a look. Now goes back on the far side of the ground. O'Brien comes in. 1 grab, 2 grab. Takes a terrific mark in front of Tully. They've been good today, O'Brien. He's really tried hard. Got his fair share of the footy. High up and under. Going to land at the top of the square. Third man back was Abbott. Spills the mark, but it comes back to him. And on the second grab, the mark is taken by Park. Right on the 50-metre line. Put it to the top of the square. Ducey needs to push back, get himself in that goal square, use that frame of his, see if he can take a contested mark. Not sure if Park can make the distance from here. It's going to get very, very close. Ducey there, spills over the back of the whole pack and through for a minor score. Done well today, Park. Him and O'Brien have been terrific. The Riley boys, they've had some real goers today. The scoreboard just doesn't tell the story. As Abbott will bring the ball back into play. Plays on out of the goal square, goes long, looks for Weasel, gets Park under the ball, spills over the back. Belotti's there, bounces up nicely for him, has players inside. Not his best handball, comes back to O'Brien, puts Riley under pressure. Wrapped up straight away. That was by Norrish. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Bleachmore does the ruck work. Reaching around him was Ashton. Spills out the back towards Park. Belotti's there. Handball cut off by O'Brien. Spills out to Riley. Hallett could have given away the free kick to Belotti. Does so. And Ryan Belotti takes the relieving free kick. Has a player short. And that's Tully. Tully goes inboard looking for Taylor and takes an uncontested mark. Harry Taylor, the skipper. Good looking kick by Taylor. He finds O'Halloran. O'Halloran goes long looking for Smith. Smith had to come from behind to affect the spoil. Spills out towards Isaiah Reid. They have the numbers. One of them is Smith. Handball back. Mucking around with it a little bit. Comes back to Reid. Can have a shot on goal. Gets a handball over to Norrish. Easy as you like. Lachlan Norrish now gets his name on the scoreboard. Unselfish play in front of goal. And that's probably 4 or 5 goals today they've got from the goal square. No opposition in front of them. And Norwich gets one back. So 2 goals apiece in this last quarter. Terrific last quarter of footy. It's just those mistakes. They had the numbers, and unselfishly the handball come out to Norrish. Been good today, Lachlan Norrish. And finishes off a great game for him with a goal from 3 metres out. The margin back out to 57 points. 16 goals, 5, 101. 6 goals, 8, 44. Ball's one down. Park goes towards O'Brien. Handball misses its target, comes back to O'Brien. Tries to get the handball back out to Park. Does so. Park busts around a couple of tackles. Gets onto his left boot. Looking for Knapp. Knapp. Jeez, unlucky there, Knapp. Not much prior in that one. Adjudged. You did have. And the free kick will go the way of Johnson for the Cougars. Being called to play on. Long, far side of the ground, looking for Luciv. Gets front position. Over the top come Chapman. O'Brien's there. Picks up the crumbs. Back to Chapman. Spills over to Park. Wasn't 15. Had to play on straight away. Looking for the big fella Nadusi. Spills out the back towards Caritis. Goes past him. Then Blakers is there. Handball over. Has a player wide. And that's Abbott. Been good down there. Gets onto his left boot. Goes short. Looking for Tonkin. Bounces past him. Bounces past Van Verhoosen, comes to Hallett, knocks it out in the direction of Patrick Riley. It won't sit up for him. In comes Riley once again. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Cougars. They'll go to Van Verhoosen. The 2 goals apiece in that last quarter. 2 goals, 1 to the home side, 2 goals, 3 to the Cougars. So Boyup, the home side, never gave up, but they just couldn't get close enough. A few let-offs in front of goal allowed that margin. In the end, 57 points. You don't have honourable losses. I'm not a big believer in that term, but they hung in there. They didn't get blown out of the water. It looked like that at certain stages of the game, but they did well. And for the winners, Matt Marinoni kicked 2 goals, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. Lee Luciv, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the fourth. End up with 4 goals. Weasel with 1 in the first. Harry Taylor with one in the first 3 quarters, so he got 3 for the game. Mitch Blakers was 1 in the first quarter. Kyle Smith, 1 in the second and 1 in the third for a couple. O'Halloran and Van Verhoosen, 1 apiece in the third quarter. And Lockie Norrish, who finished off a terrific game with the last goal of the match for his only goal. And for the home side, well, Will Nadusi, starved of opportunities, had an opportunity to kick a couple more, but I put the mocker on him. Sorry about that, Will. Don't take it personally. But he ended up with 3. Terrific young player, power forward. And as we've spoken about in the call, if the home side can get up there, or Boyup can get up there quick enough, he'll give you an opportunity to have more shots on goal than not. Luke Riley got 1 in the second. Kubinara, he was terrific. And Downer, they got 1 apiece in the last quarter, so 2 goals apiece. So 16 goals 5, 101 to 6 goals 8, 44 was the final margin. Terrific effort. They had winners all over the ground, Kojonup. I'm not sure how they would feel about that. I don't know if they come here feeling it was going to be a rollover, but Boyup put up a fight, had a lot of new players, and if they can hang around and combine and get used to each other, then they're going to cause some upsets. And who knows, this year maybe 4 or 5 wins might actually sneak you into the top 4. And then all of a sudden it's a different season once again. Liam Park was terrific. Thomas O'Brien was terrific as well. I thought Kubinaro, I apologise if I've called his name wrong, but I've called it the same way all game. But he was terrific as well. Got a goal in that last quarter. The Riley boys, well, they were terrific as well. Good to see Ben Thompson back and providing a target, and especially in the ruck. Ryan Pizzotto, well, he had a really good duel with Harry Taylor. And for the winners, well, they had winners all over the ground. Mitch Blakers was terrific, especially up forward early, and then he pushed back. Angus Johnson looks a player down back. Jake Abbott was terrific deep in defence. Lee Lucifer, well, he just keeps on kicking goals. Another 4 for him as a small forward, but has a tank to run up the ground. Ben Taylor was terrific. Marinoni does what Marinoni does, and Kyle Smith worked his way into the game in the last 2.5 quarters. 57 points the margin. Terrific game of footy. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend. We'll be back next week with the classic clash, courtesy of Management Tyre Power, but from the Boyup Brook Recreational Oval. Good afternoon to all. Kojonup winners, 57 points.